Hey there, it's another beautiful day. Today, we're going to talk about the High Frequency Active Auroral Research Program. Yes, HAARP, H-A-A-R-P. Let's watch some stuff.
The High Frequency Active Auroral Research Program, or HAARP for short, was a U.S. government-funded facility in Alaska. Officially, it studied Earth's ionosphere, but many think it has a darker purpose. Some believe that HAARP is a secret weapon for weather manipulation, mind control, or even having the ability to cause earthquakes. And get this, HAARP shut down in 2013, but some say it's still operational, hidden from the public's eye. Are they just waiting for the perfect moment to unleash their power? What do you think? Is HAARP a secret weapon or just a misunderstood research project?
A lot of people believe that these HAARP systems are still functioning, and not just the one in Alaska. Like, there's supposedly ones all over the planet that are working in conjunction with each other to do what? What is it that they're trying to do?
HAARP has had some stuff to say in response to all these conspiracy theories, and here are some of the answers that they have to people's lingering questions. HAARP scientists have claimed that radio waves, which they use the antennas to send into the ionosphere, cannot manipulate the weather or cause weather events. One of the more bizarre rumors about HAARP is that it can make caribou walk backwards with its radio waves. As the rumor goes, one day in the small town of Glen Allen, Alaska, the caribou randomly started walking backwards. One of these alleged witnesses called the Anchorage Daily News and said it was caused by HAARP mind control. When HAARP was planning on closing in 2014, he told a Senate committee that we're moving on to other ways of managing the ionosphere, which the HAARP was really designed to do, to inject energy into the ionosphere to be able to actually control it. So some people took that quote as saying as HAARP can control the ionosphere, but is that really what David was saying? HAARP can control a very tiny part of the ionosphere for their experiments, but that doesn't mean that they can control the entire ionosphere.
That sounds an awful lot like something that somebody who could actually control the entire ionosphere would say. But of course, this one project in this one location can't control the entire ionosphere. That's why they have multiple all around the world, right? So that they can control weather in different parts of the world. That's the idea, not that one for everything. So maybe he was accurate in saying we can't control the whole thing because all of them need to be working together. But as far as making animals work backwards, I know that it puts off a lot of vibration, and we talked recently about harmonics. Everybody has their own personal harmonics, and if that gets interrupted, it can make you do some weird things, make you go a little crazy in the head, right? So maybe it is affecting the life around it, whether it be animals or people, because that's a lot of vibration to be putting out to control what's going on in the ionosphere. Just that little part of it, though. Hey, thanks so much for stopping by. If you wouldn't mind, please hit that like button for me and let me know you're here, and it'll really help out my channel. Also, if this is your kind of content, won't you consider subscribing and then come back tomorrow, because I'm making a new episode every day.
In 1983, I did radio tomography with 30 watts, looking for oil in the ground. I found 26 oil wells over a 9-state area, and 100% of the time was accurate with just 30 watts of power beaming straight into solid rock. HAARP uses 1 billion watts beamed straight into the ionosphere for experiments. Picture these strings on the piano as layers of the earth. Each one has its own frequency. What we used to do is beam radio waves into the ground, and it would vibrate any strings that were present in the ground. We might get a sound back like, and we'd say, that's natural gas. We might get a sound back like, and we say that's crude oil. We were able to identify each frequency. We accomplished this with just 30 watts of radio power. If you do this with 1 billion watts, the vibrations are so violent that the entire piano would shake. In fact, the whole house would shake. In fact, the vibrations could be so severe underground that could even cause an earthquake.
He just said 1 billion watts. That's a lot of energy to be beaming up into the ionosphere, and it's going through everything. I mean, it doesn't just go from here to the ionosphere, it goes through everything else to get there, right? Which also causes vibration around where it's obviously being dispersed from. So yeah, of course, animals around are going to act a little funny. Their vibration is all whacked and they don't know what's going on. It's just, suddenly things are weird, so they behave erratically. But to cause an earthquake, that is interesting. That makes me think of that part in Ocean's 11 when Don Cheadle's character was like underground with the thing that dug the tunnel, right? And he's like, oh, we'll just hit this part and it'll act like tuning forks and the whole thing will shake like an earthquake. So that's like, right, yeah. Huh. That's interesting.
Nestled in the vast wilderness of Alaska, the High-Frequency Active Auroral Research Program, known as H.A.A.R.P, is a focal point of both scientific study and wild speculation. This facility is equipped with a potent array of 180 antennas capable of projecting 3.6 megawatts of power into the ionosphere, the electrically charged layer of the Earth's atmosphere. Operating within a frequency range of 2.7 to 10 mmHz, H.A.A.R.P's stated goal is to advance our understanding of the ionosphere and improve communications and navigation systems. However, the timing of their tests, coinciding with unusual auroral activity, has fueled theories. Some suggest these tests can manipulate weather, control mines, or even trigger earthquakes. As H.A.A.R.P's latest series of experiments unfolds from May 8th to the 10th, 2024, it prompts us to question, are we witnessing a mere natural wonder or something far more orchestrated?
Speaking of mind control, I heard somewhere, or maybe I read it, I saw it. Somehow inside of my brain, I am aware of the fact that people believe that H.A.A.R.P is working in coordination with the 5G towers, and that's why they're all over the place. So what happens is H.A.A.R.P sends out this signal, and then the 5G towers pick it up and just kind of ping-pong it around until it makes it through everybody. And it's supposed to, I don't know, disrupt your frequencies. So that's an interesting thing that I know I've heard somewhere.
Turns out the same night everyone was seeing these northern lights, H.A.A.R.P was conducting a test. And keep this in mind, H.A.A.R.P stands for High Frequency Active Auroral Research Program. And the word auroral just means related to the astronomical phenomenon of auroras, otherwise known as the northern lights. Now, their official reason for the test was to study the mechanisms of detecting orbiting space debris, so helping satellites avoid running into space junk. But I thought H.A.A.R.P was about studying the ionosphere, right? Well, that's what their website says. And how far up is the ionosphere? About 50 to 400 miles up. And how far up is all that space debris? About 1,200 miles. Don't worry, the math totally checks out. And lately, there have been some wild theories about whether these northern lights were natural or man-made. So my first question was, is it even possible for this H.A.A.R.P machine to cause artificial northern lights? Well, yes, they can, and they have in the past. So now that we know that it is possible, was it a coincidence that we saw some of the most intense northern lights on the same night that H.A.A.R.P was conducting their test? And is it a coincidence that H.A.A.R.P's test was set to last for 3 days? And so was the solar storm? Is it a coincidence that lately on social media, if you mention 3 specific words together, you'll have your video taken down or you'll be censored? So is it just another coincidence, or is it a conspiracy theory?
I don't know. You tell me. What do you think? Do you think it's a bunch of coincidences, or do you think we've got a conspiracy theory on our hands? Either way, I think it was pretty neat that the Northern Lights got down so far south. My niece was in Missouri and she was posting all kinds of rad pictures on her Facebook. Speaking of Facebook, did you know that I'm on Facebook? I'm also on Instagram and TikTok and X and Truth Social. I think that's all of them. Yeah, if you want to check one of those out, let me know. I'll put some links in. If not, I really, it's fine. I'm okay.
The Air Force is on record as saying, quote, they want to control the weather by 2025. And we are not talking about just seeding the clouds for rain. Of April this year, there are more than 150 different weather modification programs around the world. Since about 2000, the Department of Defense and the Department of Energy have been spraying the entire United States sky with the toxic brew of chemicals and other biologic agents. Military and some commercial jets have been fitted with huge barrels of at least 49 different kinds of documented chemical poisons. Among other documented ingredients in this toxic man-made clouds are pathogenic molds, fungi, weaponized viruses, and made in some places like the secret site at Fort Detrick, Maryland, which is supposed to be a cancer site. But there are a number of scholars and professors tracking this that have big questions about this. Barium and nanoaluminum particles. What do these do to the human body? Barium is an alkaline earth mineral. It was discovered in 1774. At low doses, it can act as a muscle stimulant. At high doses, it detrimentally affects the heart and the nervous system. Barium is toxic to all mammals, and that means not just humans. Aluminum, which is the most abundant metal in the Earth's crust, is known to diminish kidney function and destroy brain cells and cognitive function. Just think about it. Just between the aluminum and the mercury that we're breathing all the time, we've got already a serious issue about brain function and cognitive function.
So 2025 is coming up quick. They're working hard, putting out extra chemicals into the air. You got your chemtrails going on. We got H.A.A.R.P going off this year and in May, so they're planning it. There are programs all over the world, just like she said, just like we talked about a minute ago, all over the world to try to control the weather. So let's see how that goes.
Out in the middle of nowhere sits a forest of antennae, causing earthquakes and tsunamis, unimaginable chaos and ruin. Or so the conspiracy theory goes. Conspiracy theorists have linked the H.A.A.R.P project to earthquakes and tsunamis all over the globe. Calamities blamed on H.A.A.R.P by conspiracy theorists include the Haiti earthquake, which struck on 12th January 2010. The Japan earthquake and tsunami of March 2011 have also been linked to H.A.A.R.P. The Chile earthquake and tsunami of February 2010 were also caused by H.A.A.R.P, according to some accounts. A massive landslide in Philippines in 2006 has also been linked to H.A.A.R.P. These conspiracy theories are not limited to some sections of the internet. Even some world leaders have openly propagated these claims. In 2010, then President of Iran, Mahmoud Ahmadinejad, said recent floods in Pakistan had been caused by the H.A.A.R.P project's electromagnetic waves. He also accused European nations of draining rain clouds before they could reach Iran, causing water shortages in the Asian country. In the same year, then President of Venezuela, Hugo Chavez, said a tectonic weapon being tested by America had caused the Haiti earthquake. Chavez claimed that it was just a test run before America uses the weapon on Iran. While H.A.A.R.P has not responded specifically to earthquake claims, it has responded to weather manipulation theories. H.A.A.R.P scientists have stated that the facility cannot control weather. Earth's weather is produced in the troposphere and stratosphere. H.A.A.R.P's radio waves don't interact with these lower layers of the atmosphere. Scientists have said that if ionospheric storms caused by the sun can't affect Earth's weather, then H.A.A.R.P definitely cannot. But this doesn't mean that artificial earthquakes are impossible.
How absolutely interesting. I wonder how they attribute it to the H.A.A.R.P program. I wasn't able to find how it is specifically attributed to it. Like maybe it was activated at that time, or maybe this particular device over in this location was activated and that's why it happened. But I wasn't able to find anything like that. And that's the only thing that I'm thinking is possible is maybe, okay, well, this one was activated just like when we had the Aurora Borealis and H.A.A.R.P was active and they're like, hey, could look at that. So maybe in the event that there was an earthquake, it was activated somewhere. I know we just had a few big earthquakes. There was one in Bakersfield a few days ago, and then one, I think it was in Japan yesterday or the day before, not very long ago. But yeah, I wonder if maybe someone turned on their little H.A.A.R.P doodad and shook it up. I don't know. But yeah, it certainly is a peculiar program, and a lot of weird things are surrounding it. Hopefully one day we get an answer. On that note, I'm going to call it for today. Thank you so much for sharing your time with me. Come on back tomorrow. Or we're going to watch some new stuff. I'll say different things, and it's going to be fantastic. Until then, have a wonderful day.